Hi guys, I'm here in Pee Wee's Playhouse to walk you through how to craft your rebuttal. Now that you've introduced your counterclaim, you gotta prove it wrong, right? That's the whole reason for this paragraph. So if we, it can be a daunting task to do this, but if you walk through a few simple steps, it'll be clear and you'll be able to totally prove anyone against you wrong. So I want to start us with just going over what those steps are by using an example from life. So if my claim was that I should be able to sit wherever I want in class, which I know some of you have that claim, the counterclaim is, and reason for it are, it's better to have assigned seats because students can be distracted from sitting with their friends. In my rebuttal, I'm not just gonna be like, that's wrong. I'm gonna acknowledge, to seem like a reasonable person, I'm gonna acknowledge some truth, partial truth, and then be like, but here's why you're wrong. So I acknowledge some truth and I say, while allowing me to choose my seat will mean that I sit near to and talk to my friends, I'm not actually gonna buy in even though I acknowledge it. I say, this will not be a distraction, I'm pushing back on one part, but rather a benefit to my learning. I can't just make a statement like that if I don't have anything to back it up, right? So then I introduce evidence and say, in 4th grade, I'm using historical evidence, I sat at a table with my 2 best friends and got excellent grades and improved my writing tremendously. And just like any time I use evidence, I'm going to analyze it by explaining it and then moving on to a larger implication of what does it mean to think of the world this way, as the person the counterclaim does. My past successes sitting with friends demonstrates that distraction will not be an issue. In fact, I was able to do even better when sitting near people I liked because I was more comfortable having a discussion and more engaged in class. Further, this is where I move into implications for thinking this way. Further, refusing people the opportunity to choose their seats discourages collaboration and positive socialization, ultimately creating students who are ill-prepared to work with others when they leave school. So see, not only did I say, hey, okay, I see one thing you're saying, but here's why you're wrong, I made it seem like it's dangerous to think of the world this way, that there's really horrible implications. And we're doing the same thing with social action, right? So my claim, remember, using the court system is an effective way to create social change. I ultimately chose the counterclaim and reason that court cases are an ineffective way to make social change because the process of going through the courts is long and expensive. It's one of the ones I brainstormed. And in my rebuttal, I'm going to acknowledge some truth again. So while it can take over a year for the court to for a case to make it through the courts, leading to costly legal fees, I'm acknowledging that what they're saying has value. I don't buy in. There are organizations like the ACLU that are well prepared to fund and manage this process. Further, while it may seem long, it is still more efficient than other methods. So I'm basically saying okay, well, it is long, but that doesn't mean it's not the best way to make social change by providing refuting evidence. So I'm going back to an example I already used in my paragraphs. LGBTQ plus activists fought for over a decade to legalize same-sex marriage by passing state-by-state laws before the ruling in Oberfeld v. Hodges allowed it nationwide. Again, I'm going to analyze by explaining that evidence and moving into implications. So I say, compared with the slow grind of lobbying state lawmakers, the year or two spent in the court seems like quite a reasonable time frame. Additionally, the time and money spent is clearly worthwhile if the end result is comprehensive social change. That idea that whatever this objection is, ultimately it's worth it, is going to come up in every single person's analysis, right? If we are discouraged from taking action based on barriers such as these, it will be impossible to make any real change in the world, right? So here I'm saying, yes, I'm acknowledging that something you said was true, but it's worth it because of this, in addition to saying, well, other things will take just as much time. So that's the process you're going to go through. If you need to start thinking about how to rebut those ideas, go back to the Padlet, right? Yesterday you brainstormed how to come back at some of those ideas, and you can read other people's ideas to get going in addition to using my model. So good luck, have a great day.